A lot of complaints from fans yesterday, just due to the fact that there were barely any games last night. I know, I'm aware. They mostly left Monday open for potential rain-out situations to reschedule them for last night because, AJ, they had to do that last year when the Mets and Braves had – oh, wait, they didn't do that last year. Remember? They could have done it earlier in the week and they didn't.
Yeah, but here's the thing. They're going to give them Monday or Thursday off. Would you rather have Monday off or Thursday off for most teams?
You tell me. If you were playing, what would you want?
I mean, it doesn't matter to me, but I mean, either way, you're going to complain about Monday or Thursday having off. So they went with Monday. That way the last 6 games are protected.
And you can't really split it, right? Because then you'd create problems if you're trying to do a rain makeup where both teams are going somewhere, right? I mean, there weren't no games. There were still 6 teams that could have been in trouble, right? For example, if the Braves needed to make up a game in Atlanta because they were in a pennant race and there was some rain-out situation, let's say they had to play the Mets, AJ, it wouldn't have happened. They had a game yesterday.
Yeah. Well,
so this applied to some teams.
They took a chance. I mean, there was they took a chance and it worked out.
Mm-hmm. It just kind of sucks when it's the last week of the season and it's so light. I just wish there was a different way. That's all. Just a friendly complaint.
Everyone wanted more off days. They got more off days. Now they complain about the off days.
Well, who wants more off days? The players. Right? The fans don't want more off days. They want less off days. They want games every day.
Yes. Yes, they do, especially this time of year. Everybody's like, there's no game on? I want to see a game.
Exactly. It's last week of the season. I mean, we have some playoff-worthy matchups that are starting tonight. Before we get to that, just a shout-out to people like Sammy, Michael, John, all recent foulterritoryshop.com purchasers. You can get a lovely collared shirt like Kratz is rocking. The original FT t-shirt is still there for you, which I am wearing today. Every team show has a store as well, so you can check that out. And the variety is extensive compared to what it was 4-6 months ago. So go check it out. There are things that you never even maybe dreamed of, and all of a sudden you can get them. So foulterritoryshop.com. Appreciate the notes too. You can send a note when you buy an item. We've had some really nice notes come our way. You know, I watch all the time, keep the show running, keep up the good work kind of stuff coming in. So we appreciate that from everyone. I had one saved, but I have way too many notes from today, so I can't find it. But thank you to everyone that's been hitting up foulterritoryshop.com. A lot of work behind the scenes was put together. Oh, John said, you guys rock. Keep up the great work. I bought a lightweight hoodie. Thank you. And now let's talk ball.
Charging the mound.
That was fun. We did actually have a really good game last night, AJ. The Padres with a walk-off win in the bottom of the 11th, being that the other 2 games didn't matter. I mostly just watched this one, and it was great. The Padres like to keep things exciting for their fans this year, and they do so even down to the buzzer of when they clinch this scenario against a Brewers team that was putting up a fight. So what do you think about the Padres making it to the postseason for the 4th time in the past 6 years after not being that kind of team for a long period of time?
Good for them. Listen, this is a team that has been there. They've done it. They know how to win in the postseason. They've made their run. They haven't gotten to the final hurdle. They haven't been to the World Series in a while, but they made some runs. They beat the Dodgers not long ago. So this is a team that can make a run if Pivetta pitches well, Yu Darvish pitches well, Dylan Cease figures it out in the postseason, and we all know about their stacked bullpen. So congratulations to the Padres and Mike Schild and AJ Preller and everyone out there, because they do have some of the best fans in the game. They show up every game, and it was an awesome scene last night. So good for them. Now let's see if they can do some with it, because they're more than likely going to have to travel to Wrigley Field. It's going to be a little chilly there. Can they win 2 out of 3 against the Cubs and then go play possibly the Brewers?
That's good playoff matchup. I mean, I think they're better than the Cubs. Can they score enough runs? Can the Cubs score enough runs? You know, last night they got a home run from Jose Iglesias. I don't think you're going to be seeing a lot of homers in the playoffs from Jose Iglesias. But they are a team that needs to scrap and claw. They're not going to strike out that much. Freddie Peralta didn't have many strikeouts. He was only going like 75 pitches. So to me, I think it's something that if Pivetta gives you 5 in game 1, which Mike Shildt said most likely he's lining up for game 1, I think they end up taking the series. If your starter can't get you deep enough, they're gonna have a tough time scoring enough runs. Just they have to score more runs.
How about on the road? So AJ, the Padres are 48-28 at home. They had their 67th sellout last night. It's playoff vibes every night there. They're 38-43 away from home. The Cubs are 46-29 at home, 42-39 on the road. These two teams are likely to match up in the wild card round, like you mentioned. And guess where? All 2 or 3 of the games are going to be played.
No, they're going to be in Wrigley.
Yeah.
So, listen, it could be an advantage for the Padres. Actually, if the wind's blowing in and the Cubs, who are built more on power, they can't hit their home runs. The Padres have done it with less power the entire year, so maybe it's an advantage for them. It's going to be chilly, more than likely, in Chicago. We'll see. I mean, listen, home field advantage means almost nothing sometimes in the postseason. Sometimes it means a lot. Sometimes it doesn't. Was it the 2019 World Series where the road team won every game? So, and then you could go back some years in 87 and 91 where the Twins won all their home games in the postseason in one World Series. So sometimes it means something. Sometimes it doesn't. I know this. I like being the road team a lot of times because if you score early, it puts so much pressure on the home team.
And hey, you got to jump this team early because most likely you're going to get the fearsome foursome, used to be 5, now 4, that are going to get rolled out. Right? Morejon's been sick this year and the least talked about of the group. Estrada's in there. And then, of course, you've got the new addition, Mason Miller and Robert Suarez to lock things down. Kratz, that's as good as it gets bullpen-wise if they're going to win games. I mean, they might win some lower-scoring games, and they're capable of doing that if the starters can get them through a little bit early on. It was cool also that the walk-off hit yesterday occurs from one of their trade deadline pickups in Freddie Fermin. I watched a good chunk of the celebration, a couple things that stood out. One, Manny Machado shirtless, running with different alcohol. He was passing around tequila. I was like, I don't know if the sponsors are going to like that. I saw a lot of tequila, certain tequila brand getting
He probably
love.
doesn't care. That was
He definitely doesn't
tequila
care.
too, with the unique bottle. I always forget what the kind's called, but
Clase Azul.
Mm-hmm.
like that.
Yeah, I don't think they're a sponsor. And if Manny got a call, he'd be like, cool, I've given you 15 years of my career. I don't give a crap. And also they were yelling for AJ Preller, because think about it. There's so many players on that team that wouldn't be there if AJ Preller weren't a psychopath at the trade deadline and loves to make deals like that.
You're right.
But he made deals for guys who have they're controllable. It's not like everybody's going to look at this lineup and they're going to say, wow, look at all the money they spend on their lineup in free agency. Trade deadline, you're talking about being a psycho at the trade deadline. Most fans are like, we got to go get the best available free agent, whoever that is, whoever's going to become a free agent. Look at this list. Mason Miller, controllable for 3 years. JP Sears still has control. Ryan O'Hearn is going to be a free agent. Liriano's been one of the best pickups of all these guys. Nestor Cortez, I think, is a free agent unless he has one more year. Fermin, I think, has four or 5 more years, and I'm not sure about Will Wagner. Teams that are like, hey, we'll just get a bunch of guys. They got a bunch of guys, but they got a bunch of good players too, and just decimated their farm system to do exactly what they did last night. Pop bottles.
Yeah, well, Loriano's a free agent at the end of the year.
No, he's got one more.
Oh, he does?
He's got an option.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to pick it up.
Okay. Well, then, but their closer is a free agent at the end of the year.
Yeah, he's going to opt out, Suarez.
So Suarez is going to be more than likely gone. That's why they went out and got Mason Miller. Dylan Cease is a free agent at the end of the year. So Michael King is a free agent at the end of the year. So they have a lot of holes they still have to fill. Yeah, they did a nice job at the trade deadline. But they went and got Mason Miller in case he either starts or can close for him next year. JP Sears is an option for him next year. Nestor's gone. Loriano's, I don't know what they'll do with him. O'Hearn's probably gone. So they do have some holes they have to fill.
Mm-hmm.
That's why the trade deadline was important. He went out and got controllable. They gave up a lot, but they're trying to set this up for the long term. This is the best run in Padres history.
Yeah, like Suarez is a good example. His contract is unique. he can opt out or take $8 million for 26 and $8 million for 27. So either opts in for 216 or opts out. He's obviously opting out from that. So they're well aware. They're stacked with bullpen arms. I mean, this was 5 with Jason Adam, who I think is still under control for maybe 1 or 2 more seasons, although I don't know what his timetable is. But anyway, it's a special group. It was a really special trade deadline. And for some teams, the trade deadline did not work out. I think it's safe to say for the Padres, the trade deadline did work out. So we'll see what happens with them. All right. We're going to get to Ben Rortvedt coming up next. The Dodgers catcher suddenly thrust into the scene to log some serious playing time for LA. He'll join us in a moment.
When you think Fair Harbor, you should think soft. You should think buttery liner. But it's not just the bathing suits or the shorts. It's also sweatshirts like the one that I'm wearing right now, Kratz. It is stupid soft.
It's ridiculous that a shirt that can, 1, keep you warm, 2, be so soft, and 3, so lightweight, like the collar, everything. You don't even feel like you actually have a hoodie on, but you do.
It is a lightweight hoodie, and it feels incredible. So you should go get one yourself. Also, for bathing suits, for shorts, for whatever clothes that you're interested in where you want to basically feel like you're not wearing them, but you are, that's what Fair Harbor can bring to the table. So head to fairharborclothing.com/foul20 and use code FOUL20 for 20% off your order. That's Fair Harbor, HARBOR, clothing.com/foul20 for 20% off your order, and make sure you use that promo code FOUL20.
Let's talk Braves for 2 minutes. They had a game yesterday. Ozzie Albies fractured his left hamate bone. That is not good. He fractured that left wrist in 2024, and then some people think that's why he had a really, really slow start. So now again, he's going to be coming off a major injury for 2026. And this is why, I mean, the team didn't say this even before the injury, but you don't talk about an option until you get to the offseason. So there is a chance that the Braves move on. I doubt it, given how much of a bargain he's been. I think there's multiple years left, but that sucks. Last week of the year, it's like garbage time. And I mean, I think he'll be back for spring training, but it's a tough injury.
It's a month. I had this. It's a month.
It's that quick?
Like, this is not a major injury.
Yep.
I have the scar. I had it happen. It's a month. You can be back in less than that, but why rush it? It's a month to 6 weeks of just, you really do nothing. They cut it out, and then it's just healing the scar. There's nothing more to it. It's not a, when Mark Bowman, who should know better, writes that this is a major injury. This is not a major injury. This is a month at most, and it happened in the last week of the season, so this should not affect him picking up his option. That was not a good tweet.
And the only thing that sucks is Albies was going to play 162 games. I don't think he's ever done that in his career. I'd have to look it up. I didn't look it up before this, but he was on pace. He had played every game so far, and those Braves dudes, they all want to play there every single day, whatever his numbers are. But the hamate bone, AJ knows it's not major.
Hey, we've got Dodgers catcher Ben Rortvedt back on the show. Ben, great to have you back on. And wow, things have changed since we last spoke. How is it to be logging significant time for the Dodgers now? What's life like?
Yeah, how's it going, guys? Thanks for having me. Life's been fast. Yeah, it's been a long year. Started off kind of a disappointing year. Got DFA'd and was resetting in AAA. Got traded for. Was grateful for that opportunity, and now here we are.
What is that? I went through it plenty of times. Didn't play good, got fired, sent down to AAA. Did you feel like there was a chance for you to go back to the big leagues, let alone in another organization? Or were you, like you said, you went to reset? Was it physical? Was it mental? Was it, I don't know.
I think I kind of just got lost in kind of the player I was. I was really excited going into the year. I had a good off season. Kind of in spring, I was working some swing stuff out, and I kind of said to myself, "You sometimes got to get worse to get better," and I definitely got worse, trying to get better, and I never got comfortable. So it was kind of a battle, not playing all the time, and then really trying to like grind out at bats. I thought I did my job catching, but I just wasn't being productive on the offensive side. Wasn't getting on base. I was swinging a lot of balls. So kind of just went down to AAA, and yeah, getting DFA'd really, really hurt. I love those guys with the Rays, but at the end of the day, it was good for me. I got the at bats I needed. Got to work on some swing stuff without a lot of kind of the pressure of trying to really win each game. Um, and I wasn't really thinking about where I could have gone or whatever. I was just trying to get better each day, honestly. So just trying to like let the things shake out as they would.
Does it keep you from making another swing change again? Because sometimes this is what you have to learn. I mean, you're still only 27, right?
Yeah, I turned 28 in a couple days here, so I'll roll with 27 for a little bit. But it doesn't keep me from it. I just think I just really need to be convicted in what I'm doing. Kind of got back to what I was doing last year, and I think I'm in a spot where I can compete, and that's where I want to do. I mean, I'm not going to go out and bang all these homers back and forth. I want to compete. I want to roll the lineup over. I want to get on base. I want to be a hard out. So I think I'm back to doing that now.
What was your reaction when you heard about the news that Will Smith was going to miss significant time?
Yeah, it's never like I couldn't really get excited. I was grateful for the opportunity, but Will, you can't replace what Will does on this team. I've said it multiple times. Will is the anchor to this staff. He's the anchor to this lineup. He means so much to the guys in the clubhouse day in day out. He's the heartbeat of this clubhouse and a really quiet, confident presence. So I mean, it's a huge blow for the team. Um, but I mean, I'm just trying to kind of bridge the gap and do the best I can, doing my job here. So
Everybody says you can't trade a catcher at the trade deadline because they can't step in, learn a new staff, all that stuff. I've done it. I've lived it. I understand what you have to go through, but I also never joined a team that had a Yamamoto, a Glasnow, a Blake Snell that just started out. How much, when you got there, did you have to get to know those guys, get to know what they had? Did you listen to the organization? Did you say, you know what, I'm actually going to go out and catch a bunch of no-hit innings, so I'll take care of this? How much was that like hit the ground running and you got to figure it out on your own?
it was running. It was really running. There's no better kind of experience than being kind of getting the experience in the games. So I think the first like 12 days I caught 11 of the games, either off the bench or starting. So I definitely got firsthand experience. And then you being traded, like you got to do your research. I mean, I'm going with the guys trying to talk, get a feel for what they even have. I'm on my iPad looking at their pitch plots. I'm looking at their percentages. I'm just trying to get a feel of what the ball even does out of their hand. So my first couple of days, I'm just trying to catch as many bullpens as possible. I definitely missed a couple of hitters meetings just catching bullpens for the bullpen guys, catching the starters, and then ended up catching a lot of the starters in the first couple weeks. Definitely had hiccups here and there, but it's going to happen. And then just trying to learn from those, and just really talk to the guys, get a feel for them, and trust is definitely not built quickly. It still probably honestly isn't there with all the guys, but just showing up, doing the most you can, showing that you care, and really doing your background for them, it goes a long way.
What's it like to catch some of these pitchers? I mean, I know the Dodgers have dealt with injuries, and hey, I mean, the whole league's dealing with it, and the talent within, the rotation especially is insane. There's essentially at least 4, if not 5, number one starters in there. So what's it like to catch that group?
Yeah, I don't take it for granted. It's can't miss stuff. I mean, the last thing I want to do is deviate from these guys' strengths in the mound. Their stuff is too good to shy away from being in the zone and looking at hitters' weaknesses. So just doing the best I can to give them the opportunity. to just fill it up and use their stuff to their potential. I mean, every day we really have a chance to throw up 5, 6, 7 quality innings. So it's been a lot of fun that honestly I really haven't reflected too much about. It's been really fast and it's awesome. And more than anything, they're great. I mean, they're all superstars, but they're awesome humans. So I'm really grateful to be in the position I am right now.
Ben, you went from the Rays in Tampa to the Mega Rays in LA. What's the major difference? Are they run the same? Are they handled the same? Because I've said for years the Dodgers are the Rays on superpowers, right? Because they kind of do a lot of the same stuff. But is there a difference? Are they similar?
Yeah, there's some similarities here and there. I mean, I think the biggest similarity, I mean, Glasnow's here. So Glasnow has just pure stuff and he's trying to fill it up. But here and there's people with a lot of pitchability. Snell can really move it around. Yamamoto is like a video game. But I mean, yeah, everyone has really plus stuff. Rays like throwing their good stuff in the zone. And I think anywhere, especially here, if you have good stuff, I mean, you do not want to shy away from it and you want to fill this stuff up. So yeah, there's some similarities. I mean, there's some things that they do differently, but I won't get too much into that.
All right. Is there anything that you brought from any of your previous stops? Minnesota, not so much, but AJ asked about the Rays and the Dodgers. You're also on the Yankees. Like the proprietary information that they have you been able to come to the Dodgers and go, hey, when I was here, this was something? Obviously, you don't need to get into specifics because they think it's all tricks and treats between the teams.
Yeah, it's
but
not.
Is there something that they were like, oh, for real? Oh, okay.
I wouldn't say anything in particular, but myself just kind of be with a couple different organizations. I've just started to learn more about myself, as in kind of like, wow, I was really bad here. Let's be proactive about this. I felt good here. I was doing this, or our staff was really rolling in this way. This lineup usually kind of trends in this direction as an overall 1 through 9. We played Baltimore, so it's kind of I played in that division for a while, going up against those guys. So. Yamamoto's start for me, the first one I caught when he threw, went really, really late in that game. I felt pretty comfortable against that lineup in that ballpark. And then a lot of stuff, like you say, Rays, a lot of stuff that they simplified there is definitely applicable to like any rotation or staff kind of in a pinch. Yankees, I learned a lot about myself kind of playing in a bigger space like that and how to try and handle it and play with kind of bigger guys. So and just try not to do too much in that kind of that role piece. So I feel like I've kind of took bits and pieces from every place and trying to like apply it to my game or situationally.
Ben, a little sarcasm here, but the Dodgers were supposed to win 180 games in the regular season. And right now they're at 88. They're going to be in the playoffs. They should win the division. Are you surprised that the record isn't even better given the talent that you're playing around? And do you think that the way they prepare for the postseason has anything to do with the record maybe not being insanely good?
No, I'm not going to get into it too much. I mean, I haven't been here too long.
Phone call. The Dodgers thought he was going to give out some secrets and they cut his feed.
Hey, there he is.
He's back.
Go ahead, Ben. You're back. Oh, wait. Hold on.
We hear you. Or we see you.
We'll get him. One sec. Ben is readjusting, and then we'll bring him back. It's kind of a funsy question.
Yeah, because you asked it. You can't dictate your own question. You can't compliment yourself for your own question.
I wasn't saying it was a good question. I rarely have those. I was saying it was like it was a fun question. We talk about it all year, right?
Sorry, guys.
Ben, you good? No, you're good. You're good. You're back.
Yeah.
Yep, you're back.
I got a phone call. I know what just happened. No, I'm not going to get into it too much. I mean, you guys know I haven't been here long. What I see is it.
Oh, no.
I also know it's been a long season of injuries for a lot of the guys, so that definitely plays into it. But I mean, everyone wants to get hot at the right time, and I think we're doing that. And I'm just looking forward to the postseason.
Who's the one
Hey,
guy? Who's
go
the one
ahead.
guy when you came over that you've been more impressed with than anybody else? Not just pitchers. Obviously, the Dodgers have this mystique. You play with Judge. Judge has this mystique. Was there somebody when you were coming over and you got called up, you were like, I didn't think he was quite like that, and now I see him, you're like, whoa, he is the real deal, or way different than what you had thought?
Um, I can't pinpoint one guy. I mean, every guy kind of sit back and will just watch in the cage, and everyone just is so strict to their routine that it's really, really impressive. From the pitching staff, everyone's really on it. Kershaw is day in, day out going through it. It's really impressive. Yamamoto is in the weight room all day and kind of has his routine that's been really impressive. Glasnow gets after it. Snell gets after it. In the cage, Mookie is really fun to watch. Freddie really has his routine down. I don't see Shohei much just because he's always either throwing or he's hitting before the game. So that's one person that obviously is it's Shohei. But I want to do more of sitting back and really watching him work. I think he is hitting before the game, so I'm not really in the cage at the same time, but I mean a lot. There is a lot of good stuff that happens in and out of the clubhouse that I really try and just take note of throughout the day.
Hey, what advice do you have for rookie catcher Dalton Rushing, who enters the scene here and also has to, suddenly do a lot?
Yeah, I've been talking to Rush the past week with kind of the Will stuff coming out, and it's just I've never been in the postseason. This is Rushing's first year, kind of just that is all hands on deck. I mean, there's no excuses in the postseason. There's no distractions, and that this is probably gonna be us anchoring the staff for the first part for sure, and that we got to do our best to anchor the staff. All emotions from the hitting and all that goes out the window. We got to do our best to channel everything towards the pitching staff. Obviously, we're gonna be in the box and competing our ass off, but we gotta we gotta do our best to keep the rotation hot and be on the same page as the bullpen. So no distractions and yeah, just that kind of stuff.
Explain that Kershaw moment to us from the field. We saw it on TV, the crowd, the ovation. You haven't been there all million years that he's been there, but explain what that was like in the dugout leading up to that game and all that stuff that we don't see on camera.
Yeah, I think it really kind of started on his interview. All of us were in the room, and you could really see the emotion coming out. And when he started talking about his family and like what the team meant to him, you could really kind of start to like relate things in your own life of like important people, important times in your life, and just kind of like you say 18 years and it's a long time, but you start relating 18 years to kind of what happens in 18 years. I kind of viewed 18 years as like, man, that's like being born in my hometown, going to middle school, high school, and then like graduating, getting drafted. So like that's that whole phase in my life that all this important stuff has happened. And that whole phase he's kind of gone through at Dodger Stadium, being a Dodger, like raising a family, his kids running down the hall. So it's if
He's a famous man. A lot of phone calls.
I'm gonna just throw this out there. I just thought of it. Maybe before the guest comes on, we say to turn on Do Not Disturb. Would that do it?
Maybe.
Good.
I don't
Okay.
know.
I'm getting
Okay.
live feedback. Oh, apparently they do get told that, but some people, there's a way to overcome Do Not Disturb, right? You can call, I think, 2 in a row. We'll get you past that.
I think so.
So
Really?
somebody really needs, during the 10 minutes that we have been, someone really needs you
sorry.
during these 10 minutes.
You're famous. Tell Shohei
I
you'll
went, I
get to
went,
him.
I heard you, and I went on Do Not Disturb when it happened. So it won't
Yes,
happen again. That's my bad.
you're good.
I
You're
should have
good.
right
I'm
away.
just like, hey,
Actually
maybe
went,
someone really needs you.
yeah, actually went off Do Not Disturb to come on the show, and I didn't miss it. I should have put it back on. So where was I? Just talking about his family in the press
Yeah.
conference. Yeah, so
Yep.
like that really hit home for me. I haven't been here a long time, but I think everybody can relate to like how much like family important people mean in their lives. And like I said, like I kind of related to 18 years to like holy crap, like that's all this time that I spent like growing up as a child and becoming who I am before I kind of like left home. So I was like, wow, that's a lot. And on the field, like you guys saw it, it was really cool. The stadium was filled that day, and he kind of gave it back to the fans. I mean, they kind of got a taste of kind of what he was feeling, and it was really, really cool to see everyone come out and applaud him for all the years here. Yeah, I didn't really have much words for it. It was really cool to see in person.
Ben, you mentioned you haven't been in the postseason yet. Have you started talking to people about what it's like to be in the postseason? Have you talked to the veteran guys, Freddie and Mookie, and some of these guys that have been in the postseason for years and years and know everything, kind of been through all the wars and all the battles? Do you sit down and talk to them a little bit before you guys play that first game, or you just gonna you and Rushing just gonna sit down and live it together for the first time?
Honestly, I really haven't thought about asking guys yet. I've been pretty focused on kind of like winning each day. We're trying to clinch the division here, so I really haven't gotten past that, and so it's definitely something I'm going to talk to the older guys and kind of expectations and what going into that, how to kind of navigate through some of the emotions that go through it. But I was around a little bit when the Yankees were in the postseason, so I got a little taste of kind of like over there. I also talked to a lot of the guys that go through it there, so I know kind of emotionally kind of the roller coaster you go through and just how much you want to stay focused and keep it all on the field and off the field, how you can get distracted and how everything plays into it. But I think it's definitely something when we get a couple more days in that I'll be sitting down and trying to get a better feel for everything.
Hey, Ben, last one for you. So today, the Rules Committee is meeting to discuss the ABS challenge system. It's definitely going to get approved. Maybe we'll break the news during the show. Your thoughts on what to expect with that next year?
It's different. It's different. It kind of takes it takes complaints out of it from each side. It's definitely going to be a big change. So I know from my position, we'll see how it goes and how they're valued catchers here and there. I liked it hitting, catching. It can be frustrating because you want to get rewarded for pitch locations and all this stuff that kind of plays into it throughout the history of the game. But yeah, we'll see how it rolls out. I bet people are going to be unhappy. There are going to be people that are going to be happy. I think it's just all situational. When a big call kind of comes down to ABS, it can be frustrating, but it can also be fun here and there, kind of getting some feedback and on umpires. So I'm not sure what to expect. I had it in AAA, and it can drag on, but it's also it's uh
Wait, but
it's the actual zone. So
you had in AAA, did you have the challenge or you had every pitch?
um we had the challenge, which I think is better than every pitch. So like you're doing your best for the margins as a catcher, and you can challenge catching, you can challenge hitting. I've looked stupid challenging catching, and I've looked stupid challenging hitting. So there's definitely some things that go into it. You want to save your challenges and be smart about them for big situations. But yeah, it'll be a really big change, and we'll see how it all plays out.
Is this going to take away some of your value as a great receiver, or is there still like some good value on the edges because you don't just have unlimited challenges?
I think it'll take away some value, but at the same time, it'll definitely make the margins a lot valued a lot more. I think blocking will be definitely valued more. I think throwing will be valued more, game calling. But the big chunk of kind of stealing a lot of strikes probably will decrease a little bit, but it's the margins that come into play with the ABS and on the edges. So, and also probably just understanding the strike zone as a hitter and what to challenge, what not to challenge. It changes a lot with the height of batters, so that's one thing that's difficult. The zone can change with um, the size of the hitter. So it's definitely going to be you understanding the strike zone as a whole.
Great breakdown of it. Yeah, I'm excited from a fan perspective just to, at a bad call. Hey, for fans, it's going
Yeah,
to be
no,
fun.
and you see it on the big scoreboard. It can be kind of funny, actually.
Yeah, exactly. So bring an entertainment component to our game. I'm into it.
Yes, sir.
Ben, great. Thank you for joining us. Great combo and good luck, man. We'll be watching.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Ben Rortvedt with us, Dodgers catcher. Be right back. Kratz, let's talk about Omaha Steaks, and it's not just steaks. It's chicken wings. It's smash burgers. Big deli style franks. There are a number of categories that you can hit all in one place. They've been doing it for a long time. They're the best in the biz. And if you got a good filet, life's good, man.
But you got to finish every meal with some delectable desserts, too. They have those, too, to go along with these delicious steaks.
Apple caramel tarts on the list, among many other menu items to check out. Be the hero that orders Omaha Steaks and is the most popular person in your household. So get fired up for fall grilling with Omaha Steaks. Visit omahasteaks.com for 50% off site-wide during their Red Hot Sale event. And for an extra $35 off, $35 off on top of that, use promo code FOUL at checkout. That's 50% off at omahasteaks.com and an extra $35 off with promo code FOUL at checkout. See site for details. Big steak celebration for Patrick Zalupski and friends. He is officially the owner of the Rays. The formal closing of the sale expected to be completed later this week. The other owners approved it unanimously. They approved literally everything unanimously. And Stu Sternberg was bat boy the other day, AJ, in his last little hurrah. So here we go.
We'll see. Congratulations, Patrick. Waiting for you to text me. So when we're supposed to get together, that was supposed to be in the next couple of days, so we'll see. But no, congratulations to Patrick. This is a big deal for Tampa. They're supposed to be keeping the team in Tampa. We'll see where they find a spot to do it. They're supposed to have public and private funding for a new stadium. Hopefully it works out. But yeah, this is great for Patrick and some other people that I know. The Rick Workman, who's in this group. It's pretty cool that they've got this done, got it out from under Sternberg. Now we'll see what they can do with it.
If it doesn't work out, we're available, right? We're still available?
Orlando's available, yeah, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Okay. What's going to change here?
The previous contract is now null and void. The St. Pete, whatever they were going to do with the whole, all the living area and everything around where the stadium is now, that's all because it's a new owner.
Well, that deal got broken anyway.
Then the Rays couldn't pull up their end of the bargain. That was a long time ago.
Oh, I thought it was just tabled until he could get the money, and then that's when he sold it. So it just got because Stu didn't bring up his portion of the money. Gotcha.
Stu didn't have the money.
Yep. Hot corner time. Jeff Passan reported on a story about MLB telling team officials that they're going to have to wait a little bit longer to monitor amateur players over a winter period. So they ordered a down period for teams to watch youngsters, prospects. And that also includes collecting data on them. This will happen in the wintertime. So it says there's a warning to executives that the amateur baseball calendar is putting young players at dramatic risk of future injury. That's a memo from the league, and it's a 7-page document to high-ranking personnel, all 30 teams. The league said it hoped its amateur recovery period policy, which covers high school juniors and seniors from October 15th to January 15th, and college players from November 15th to January 15th, will, quote, alleviate the pressure on young players to forego rest and recovery, curb overuse, and keep players healthier as they strive for a future in professional baseball. So during that period, team employees cannot see any player covered by the policy here. That includes video, third-party data, etc. If you violate it, you could be fined, suspended, placed on the game's ineligible list, sanctions on the team, etc. And they're encouraging players to use this period for rest, recovery, and training for next season rather than high-intensity, maximum effort activities. This is due to the league finding out that dudes are going too hard all the time. Will this do anything?
No. Most colleges end around the week after November 1st anyways. So most colleges end, and most high schools. And I think the big Jupiter tournament is the week before they ended this, and that's when most high school teams shut down for the fall, winter anyways. So it doesn't really cover anything. The only thing this does is it probably kills some showcase events that are happening, but doesn't limit colleges, doesn't limit other things to other people to come and watch. So I mean, yeah, this is like, oh, we see a rash of injuries, we should do something about it. But this doesn't really change anything for me. And also, a lot of the injuries we're seeing, big league pitchers are throwing all year round. They're going to drive lines and treads and places all winter and throwing all the time. So that doesn't really stop them from going places to throw. So, I mean, yeah, I guess it helps a little bit, but I don't know what it really does. Because, again, the biggest tournament of the year is in Jupiter. The WWBA in Jupiter ends, I think, October 12th or something. So it's not like this is like, oh, man, we're going to end that one. No, it's October to January is shut down anyways, and then they can start doing arm exercises or arm care in like January 1st or something in high school. So I don't know what this does other than it makes MLB say we did something.
I think it's eyewash. Nobody's going to blow out when they're going to throw for a scout on an October, November day in high school. To me, I think high school should be done. Pitchers should be done before October 15th. So this is from Major League Baseball. I think this is just a, hey, look at what we did. Is it going to make a blip on the radar? Absolutely not. Until guys are rewarded for staying healthy and going longer into games or just in general staying healthy. Oh, wait, you can have a really good career if you stay healthy and you're always available. So that's the reward. I don't think this is a Major League Baseball thing, and I think this is, to me, it's eyewash.
Yeah, colleges can still be at whatever. They can't stop that. Agents, too.
They have quiet. I mean, college has quiet periods.
For college. There's dead periods.
That's true. Yeah. Agents go to everything. They're not going to be stopped.
No, agents definitely go to everything.
Yeah. So
I think, AJ, you would probably speak to this the same, too. Like, if I had to go to, and I think Noah Syndergaard, we had him on and he was talking about it. If you have to go to a tryout in January and be your absolute best max, you're going to be either injured because you're getting ready too soon, or your season's going to be brutal because you hit your peak way too soon. You got to be ready when your season starts. For me, I had to be ready at the beginning of spring training because that was the times when I would get my at-bats and play in the field. And then the good players would come and they would start playing every day, and I would get smattering of at-bats at the end of spring training. I wouldn't play the whole time. Like, you have to be able to time it, and I think too many kids, whether they throw too much or not, they're just not being taught how to take care of their bodies because there's the holy grail of hitting that number, whatever it is. If you want to go to a low-level college, you got to hit 90. You want to go to a high-level college, you got to hit 95. You want to get drafted, it's 98. And until that changes, these quiet periods, dead periods for pro scouts, not going to save any injuries.
Yeah, but, I mean, nobody needs to be ramping up in just January, December anyways. It should be this is, again, there's no big things unless certain places are doing things in December, January. I mean, I just had a son go through it, and at the end of October, it was done. There was nothing until January started.
So what is this? What is this?
Unless you're paying $700 for your kid to go to a showcase, why do you need to do that anyways? This doesn't do anything except for those few places, maybe some JUCOs, but even though they're not even covered, I mean, I guess JUCOs, but most scouts aren't really heavily invested in JUCOs anyway. So, and no colleges are playing. My son's last college game this year is October 25th. So this doesn't cover that. So then they have October, November, December, January.
What does he do during that time?
They just lift and
they work out.
They don't do baseball. I mean, I'm sure they do some baseball stuff, but they just lift. But the pitchers get their downtime.
So I'm confused about this memo, guys. Does this mean that they're trying to figure out ways to curb the injuries, but they don't know how?
Yeah, they don't know how, or they don't want to. If they do know what it is, they don't want to make that change. My buddy just texted me, who's a scout. He's paid 9 months out of the year. He's not paid November, December, and January. What is this?
So MLB.
I have a couple buddies that are still scouts, and they say they still have to go and do in-home visits with prospects. So it's not like they're getting that time off.
And that'll continue. You're allowed to do that. I did look at the memo.
Yeah, so they're still working. They're still gaining information. They already know who they're going to look at more than likely.
Now they can't go have a catch in the backyard if they go visit. I'm kidding.
We're doing that.
I'm kidding. But I'm just trying to figure out what this means.
Nothing.
Okay. Conclusion, nothing. If you skipped to the end of this video, you did well. All right, coming up next, Jonathan Papelbon joining us. Are the Red Sox okay? FT Fam Superpower believes that every human has 100-year potential, and they're going to help you get there. I like the sweatshirt, Erik Kratz, and I also love the way that Superpower takes care of its members.
Yeah. You go get your lab test, you become the best you. You be a member of this group, and your test will come back. It's unlocking things that you didn't know about yourself. This is stuff that players used all the time. You can do it now too.
Exactly, Kratz. How many of you have gone to a doctor's appointment? You get the classic, oh, you're fine, or just drink more water. No real data, no real game plan. With one simple blood draw with Superpower and over 100 biomarkers, that is way more than what you'd usually get, and it unlocks so much more about your own body. Head to superpower.com to learn more and lock in the special $199 price while it lasts. After you sign up, they'll ask you how you heard about them. Please make sure to mention the FT podcast to support the show. Your biology decoded, your blueprint activated with Superpower.
I follow the boys. I follow them all the time. I'm a Schwarber fan. I love Kyle. The funny thing is that when we trained together in Tampa, because we were both part of the same agency. We were both with CAA, and we trained together in Tampa at a spot called Saddlebrook. So this was when he was first breaking into the league. I think he was still with the Cubs. And so I got to see him, we were training, working out, doing all that kind of stuff and hitting. And I was watching him. I was like, this dude's got some sock him. He's got some stupid pop. But even more so, like, he was just a great, like, down to earth, like, humble person. Right. And so I was like, this dude's he's going to be good.
Nailed it. That's Ryan Howard on the Phillies show, latest episode. Go check it out on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. Great interview with the Phillies show hosts talking to Ryan Howard about the current ball club. Pretty cool. Kratz, it's a good show. A lot of great guests.
Yeah, you do a good job, Ruben. Ruben's always dipping into his mailbag of phone numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Need to see him still. Harper needs to come on there. Just saying, Ruben.
He's been on.
Get it done.
He's been on.
He was on the Phillies show? How did I miss that?
Yeah. He's been on. I mean, not this year, not recent. It was last year, but he has been on.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Never mind then. Take a vacation, Ruben. You guys are good.
Mission accomplished. It's our fam. It's Pap, Jonathan Papelbon, ready to go on FT. Bring it today, Pap. I want to just get right into the Red Sox with you because it seemed like we were kind of cruising along. Yeah, they're going to get one of the wild card spots. Are they definitely getting in? I think you tweeted about it this morning. The schedule is not easy for them the next 6 games.
It's not. First off, let me say what's up, everybody. How's everybody doing? I love the superpower. I feel like my wallet has had some superpower here lately. With all my picks, they're so hot. So just going to throw that out there, first off. Now, on to your question, Scott.
Red Sox okay. So they're up a game, right? They got 3 against Toronto. Blue Jays still need to clinch the division. Then they finish with a 3-game set against the Tigers team that might be fighting for its postseason life and have a Scooble start in there.
Well, there's no question that they're going to be fighting for their lives with the Scooble start against the Red Sox. It's, to me, going to come down to that series, no question. Now, I hope the Blue Jays, they clinched. I hope they've been partying. I hope they're hung over a little bit. Maybe, hopefully, can't play. Some guys might get some rest. I don't know. But the Red Sox got to win this series, and this is a tough series to win in Toronto, and I don't see it happening. So I see them going into the Detroit series in kind of some dire straits.
Wait, you're saying that the Red Sox can't beat another big league team right now? Is that because they don't have a good enough personnel, or they're not playing well enough?
Well, Kratz, if you look at it, man, they've really been playing kind of scrappy ball without their best hitter in Roman Anthony, and they've been tanking ever since. So to me, he's not coming back. I don't see him coming back. Maybe if they get to the CS or something like that, then maybe. But still, you're talking about a rookie coming back in his first ever postseason. You can't expect much out of him after that. Just like you can't expect Abreu just came back, and he's supposed to man down right field right now, but you can't expect him to do it. He had a golden or no, wait, yes, yeah, 4 strikeouts last night. So you can't expect him to do much because he didn't even go on a rehab stint. He's trying to jump right back into it because it's all hands on deck for the Red Sox right now. And I tell you what, you can't look in the rearview mirror at all.
All right, so I won't look in. I guess my question is null and void then. I guess Rafi, if he was in this lineup, wouldn't have helped them at all, right? But they got some pieces back. Jordan Hicks hasn't really helped out. Really, what is the formula for them to win these last 6 games? Win enough games to keep their 1-game lead, because they can't just recreate and get, you're not getting Roman Anthony back. Ceddanne Rafael is not just going to all of a sudden stop swinging at pitches. What is the formula? Because they're playing 2 really good teams who still have something to play for.
Yeah, well, Kratz, their formula has to go to passing the baton in the lineup and playing defense and obviously pitching, right? So all 3 of those phases. But you can't lead the league in errors and expect to beat big league ball clubs. That's what they do. So until they clean that up, nothing's going to really change, because there's been, I don't think, any team to make it even to the World Series that has led the league in errors. So you got to clean that up. But, man, the pitching, right? You got Peyton Tolley in the bullpen now. They've moved him. He's up on his end. Garrett Crochet is in a spot where he's never been, right? Number 1, we got playoffs, and number 2, he's pitched 180 some odd innings. I don't know exactly, but I know he's in 180s-ish. So he's never done that before, right? So how much can you lean on him as well? And my understanding and the way I think is you can't lean on him too much, because I see a tired Garrett Crochet right now.
What do you think about these starters that go to the bullpen then? If they're tired and these guys are all hitting innings limits, and Crochet's at 197, I believe, innings already. And then you have Giolito, who's at a high limit count. Bayo's way up there. And then would you take a Tolley? Would you take someone like that and throw him in the bullpen for help? Or what do you do to try to help alleviate some of this pressure on some of these guys if you get into the postseason?
Well, AJ, somebody's got to step up, because they didn't get much help. Breslow, that's the one place he didn't get any help, right? So Hicks is – I don't even know if he would make a postseason roster, to be honest with you. But you have to hope that Slayton steps up, and you got to hope that Chapman is regular Chappie, been doing what he's been all year long. And more importantly, a guy named Garrett Whitlock. If Garrett Whitlock, he's his setup man. If you can't rely on him, and he's already reached his limit of innings, or his highest limit of innings he's ever thrown out of the bullpen. So, man, you're looking at a team that is already injured and looking to try to get into the postseason and try to maybe do damage in the postseason with a lot of questions, in my opinion.
Rookie Peyton Tolley, does he profile as his stuff profile to be able to go to the bullpen?
It does, Kratzy. It does. His fastball plays, man, but you know as well as I do, man, when you got that guy and he's coming out of the bullpen and it's like, man, holy smokes, dude, just throw a strike here. We got to get strike 1. And when you don't do that out of the bullpen, to me, it just seems a little bit more damaging because you're coming in more tighter situations. So if you don't get ahead and you don't throw strike one, especially out of the bullpen, you're in trouble. So I think his fastball plays, he's just got to locate it a little bit better. Now, he's got other pitches and slurs and cutter and a changeup he very rarely throws. But to me, it's let me find one or two, right? Let me find one or two that play right now, and you go with it. And as the season goes on, you go to your best two pitches coming out of the bullpen every night.
If they're on the outside looking in when the playoffs start, is this a failed year? Or is this like the built-in, hey, you know what? We did go get Bregman for 1 year. We knew it was a 1-year deal. We got rid of Rafi. We reset for next year. Is this a failed year in the nation?
Red Sox Nation is going to say this is a failed year, Kratz. I myself would say that it's a failed year too. Only reason being, in my opinion, is this will be year number 4, I believe. Yeah, so 4 years. And that just doesn't play in Boston, man. You know that. And, Breslow can make all the cute moves you want. You can make all of the, oh, man, we made the best analytical play we could. We're making all the great moves, and they're turning out. But if you don't win, it doesn't work here. And that's just the way it is. And so, yeah, you got some future young pieces signed here, and Sadon and Bayo, but you got and Crochet, and we could go on. But like, here's the thing: is these young kids have got to learn how to win at a high level in playoff type atmosphere games, and hopefully in the playoffs. And none of them have done that except for Bregman. So they're in trouble, in my opinion.
Hey, Pat, a couple other questions around the league. So first off, we just learned officially next year we'll start the ABS challenge system. It just got approved by the rules committee. 2 challenges per team. You keep your challenge if you're right and the umpire is wrong. Your thoughts?
Well, my thoughts are, you're going to have a learning curve with it. And like, I see now catchers wanting to call it all the time. So it's who's going to call it. I'm not so sure on it. I think the umpires are good enough, but 2 is enough to get a start and say, okay, let's try to see if this works. And to be honest with you, I hadn't been paying a whole lot of attention to minor league. I know they're losing at the minor league level, right? I hadn't been paying a whole lot of attention to it, but I think 2 is enough just to start with and see.
I think I agree with you. I think the umpires are good enough. I think they just now have an accountability. They never had any accountability before, and they'd just be like, whatever, missed it. Need to go to another pitcher. Shohei Ohtani. Not sure how the rotation is going to work out, if they're going to need 4 guys, 5 guys, Kershaw or Shohei. There's been a debate. Can Shohei come out of the pen to pitch? I get it. You could lose him in DH. You could throw him. You have to throw him in the outfield. How hard is that of a transition to just go ahead and do that in a big situation like the playoffs?
I don't know, Kratz. I wish I knew. But to me, the guy is a unicorn, right? And you have to be able to listen to him. And you have to be able to communicate with that unicorn, that great player, so to speak. And he has to be able to communicate back to you. Number one, what do you feel comfortable doing, right? What do you feel like you're going to be best at? What do you feel like you're going to help this team win the most at? And then secondly, what can you handle? Like, what type of load do you think that you can handle? And what are you going to do pre-game, post-games in order to handle these loads if we're going to be asking a little bit extra from you? And I'll be honest with you, man. Playoff games, these last 6 games the Red Sox will be playing they're just a different intensity, man. And they take a little bit more out of you, a little bit more of your fuel tank just seems to be a little bit lower after each one of these games than just, your normal game in the regular season.
Pep, did they get in?
Ooh. I think they get in. I think they had the leadership to get in. I think this time of year, it boils down to leadership in your clubhouse, And kudos to Kershaw, man. I liked how he went out and the way he went out in a good way. He didn't do the Derek Jeter or David Ortiz, let me have a party at every city I go to and get a present and blah, blah, blah. And he went out on his terms. Good way to go out, and a class act for him, man. So I say they get in because of their leadership.
Pap, good stuff for the TV crowd. We'll be right back. Pap, stick with us for your lock. Okay, Pap, this is how yesterday went. It included your plus 242 banger on the plane. So now we've got you with as much decibel level action as you want to give us, as much volume as you want to bring to the table for your lock. This is all you. We got about a minute and change. Updated money bags. You're up $487, and we've got a full slate tonight. What are you doing?
Well, look here. I look at this one way. I look at it in a way that what teams right now are 1 foot in and 1 foot out the door, right? Because I've been on them teams where you're like, man, how many more damn games we got in this season? Let's get the hell out of here. And so I'm betting against those teams because once you get a couple runs on those teams, they seem to cave in pretty quick. So I'm going the Braves against the Nats. Braves whooped them last night. I'm thinking they're going to do that again in the run line. And I'm also going the Yankees against the cash-em-in White Sox. And look, I'm going run line in both of these. It's another plus 200 plus banger, and we're going to hit it. And we're going to keep this money flying into the offseason, baby. Let's get it.
There you go. Let's get that cheese, baby. And we'll reset for playoffs. So finish strong. Finish in the green there. You have a 30-second question or
no? I'm good.
Not enough time. Okay, cool.
I like what you're doing, Scott. I see you working. I see you grinding, baby. I like it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm actually doing okay now. It took me a while. I'm back on track.
Attaboy. Well, I enjoyed it, folks. And I'll see you in the postseason, hopefully with the Red Sox in it.
Yes, sir. Pap, you're the best. Thanks for swinging by. We'll look for your lock later this week. Thanks, bud.
All right. See you guys.
See ya. That's Jonathan Papelbon, the great FT closer. Time to hit some FT breaking news. We learned that MLB officially will implement a challenge system for balls and strikes in the 2026 season. The league's competition committee voted, and it is happening. Robot umpiring begins. Not with every pitch. Teams receive 2 challenges to dispute calls by the home plate umpire. 2 per team. That puts a little heat on the lineup, AJ. So what do you think? Is 2 the right number? We knew this was going to happen, so let's go over the details.
We knew this was going to happen. This is like the biggest non-surprise of all time. What do I think will happen? I think it'll make umpires lock in for 9 innings. If there's still challenges on the board, I think sometimes when you get late into games and the games get out of hand, sometimes umpires open up the strike zone a little bit, try to get games moving. that'll be taken away. And I also think it's going to be fascinating to see who's allowed to challenge and who's not. Most teams that I've talked to about it say they don't want pitchers challenging. It's mostly catchers and hitters, but do you have your 9-hole hitter challenging when it could cost Aaron Judge or Juan Soto a pitch later in the game? I don't know. It's going to be fascinating to see, but it's here. It's not going anywhere, and we knew it was coming, so welcome.
Coming from the 9-hole hitter, you better be right. It better be an egregious mistake. And not like that 50-50. The reason it's a 52%, I think, was the challenges is because they're 50-50 pitches. Very few umpires are missing regularly pitches that are this far off or this far on. It's the borderline pitches, and so it's a 50-50 pitch. I think it's great because it eliminates those massively huge mistakes. Last night, Roberto Ortiz was calling pitches that were letter high, and the strike zone is below that. I think it's going to be interesting to see how it goes, but something AJ brought up was the length of game. Umpires start to kind of stretch it a little bit. Okay, I get it. We got to move. We got to keep the game moving a little bit. It's an 8-run game. Is it going to lengthen those games? Are we going to have more offense because the ball's now on the plate? We'll see.
I think that they should call it the Angel Hernandez ABS challenge system. It's probably going to have a sponsor or something to it, but I'll always remember Angel calling out Wyatt Langford on 3 pitches in another planet, and that's not going to happen anymore. You challenge that. But for me, AJ, when you have just 2 challenges, it does put heat on you early on in the game. You better be right. And you mentioned the Stars. Let's flip it. What if you are Juan Soto and you take a lot of really close pitches and you're up for your second AB, middle of the game, and you say, challenge, you're wrong because it was a borderline pitch and you were off. And then later in the game, you don't have that to use. Do you think that there will be some pissed off teammates? And I'm just using Soto as an example, but this could happen with anyone in the league, right? If there was a challenge blown earlier on in a game where a player felt like it was definitely his side and it wasn't, and then they're out of challenges at a time when they really need one?
Yeah, that's why the strategy of this whole thing is going to be fascinating. I mean, that's the whole thing of this is who's going to challenge when and who's going to be really good at it and who isn't. And we'll see after a few months who should be, and coaches and managers will make adjustments, and then they'll go from there. But, yeah, that's the whole thing is the strategy of who and when gets challenged. Because if you miss, you can screw your teammates.
And we know that front offices love to make everything into an advanced stat and a number and a probability. So, Kratz, do you think there will actually be a strategy implemented by teams? Like, will a front office sit down with a coaching staff, then coaching staff sit down with players and say, hey, this is how it's going to work on our team. These are the scenarios where you have to look out. Of course, again, like you mentioned, there might be one where it's so obvious the entire world except for the person behind home plate knows it. But in many other cases, I think players are going to be looking to leadership for when they are comfortable to make the challenge.
I mean, players should have the confidence that they know the strike zone. Catchers, hitters, pitchers, they just need to stay out of this. 100% pitchers stay out of it. But they have to have that confidence. But you gain that confidence because the front office is like, go for it. I'm guaranteeing you, just from talking to the people with the Rays, they're saying, hey, you know what? Let's test the limits on this. Let's see. Let's learn it. Let's try to see what we can do early in the season, spring training, all that stuff with this, because they're not afraid of making mistakes. If your front office and your coaching staff comes to the players and goes, hey, everybody but Aaron Judge and Ben Rice, who, Cody Bellinger, the 3, 4, 5 guys in our lineup, don't challenge. Don't challenge anything. Then you're going to be like up there like, well, I think it's a ball, but I don't want to get in trouble. So it's really it's like anything. Players, as confident as you can be, you're still looking to your coaches and your front office like, oh, you're pissed at me because I challenged that? Well, I thought it was a ball, so that's why I challenged it.
Jeff Passan just tweeted some big miss from last night, and he's right, and there's people in the chat talking about it too. The Padres-Brewers game had plenty of pretty obvious misses, and Passan said there are typically around 1,000 missed calls a week, saying that the challenge system is going to get plenty of use. We are going to have games where there's like 12, 14 challenges because the umpire keeps missing and the teams are on the money, right? It's not going to happen all the time. We're also going to have games where maybe only 5 or 6 challenges get used because teams blow them early and they're wrong. But there's going to be some games, AJ, where a bad umpire gets exposed, and that's actually going to go viral. People are going to be like, look, they're using 12 challenges from one team.
Yeah, but nothing's going to happen. Nothing's going to change. So I don't know why it's a big deal. Yeah, it'll affect the game, but it might slow it down a little bit. But it's like the umpires, I mean, it's not like the top 5 rated umpires get to go to the World Series every year. I mean, that's the way it was supposed to be, but it hasn't happened. So I don't know what it's going to change other than maybe the length of the game and the challenges. But everyone already knows who the good umpires and the bad umpires are. So I don't think it's – and what's the margin of error? I mean, what's the margin of error from the strike zone? If it's this far out and the umpire calls it a ball and we challenge it, right? I mean, or they said at one point it was a half an inch or something. So what's the – because even the things in tennis that they use aren't 100% accurate. So how do we know this little thing they're doing is accurate? I don't know. There's a lot of questions.
There are some questions in the chat, so I'll address a couple of them right now. One is shading MLB for trying to trim down game time and then saying this is going to extend it. I'm going to go hard against that comment. They have done a really nice job trimming down game time with the pitch clock. That's dead time. That's pitchers taking an hour between pitches. We had plenty of offenders like that back in the day, and you'd have certain batters taking a ton of time in between pitches. To me, this is different. And also from what I've seen, unless it's going to be something different, we're talking like 5-ish seconds to get the response. So I don't think you're going to add that much time. Kratz, if you get a challenge, and it has to be instant. This is not replay where you look at the manager, they have like 15 seconds, they got to come up with it. This is instant. And if it's not instant and from the player himself, nothing to do with the coaches, then we move on. So let's say there are 10 challenges in a game. And let's just say it takes 10 seconds total for the player to signal it and then the call going to the computer. That's 100 seconds. That's not even 2 minutes. So if you think this is contradictory to what MLB is trying to do, you're damn wrong. It's going to be entertaining for fans. That's a 2 minutes I'll sign up for.
Go to a AAA game. There's a week left. There's half a week left. Go to a AAA game and watch it. I went to an Iron Pigs game about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and there was 3 challenges. Umpire was right on one. The players were right on the other 2. And there was also 2 where the hitter took strike 3, took 1 step, looked in the dugout, and the umpire, and then he turned around and was like, no, I want to challenge. And the umpire was like, no. Like, it looked like he was saying, you looked into the dugout and they gave you. So it's like umpire's discretion if you took too long, because it was kind of quick, but it wasn't as quick as the other ones. Or if someone else gave you the, oh, go ahead, challenge it. It was low, or it was, obviously in and out. You can't see from the dugout. But so I saw it where they don't always get it if it's not in on time.
Thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's got to be quick. That's it. It's got to be quick. It's supposed to be quick on the TV and on the scoreboard. I don't know if it's going to affect, it's not going to make the games that much longer. It's just going to make people pay attention more. Like I said, I've talked to umpires about this, and they just say, hey, it's going to make us lock in for 9 innings. And if, God forbid, a guy gets a couple wrong early, they're going to might get in their head and make it a little bit strange. But this is baseball in 2026. This is what we're throwing out there, and I hope it's for the positive. I think it will be.
My question is, and obviously this is rules stuff, and we'll have it ironed out, but you have it instantly. On the bench, you can have it instantly. TrackMan has it. That's how they're getting it. They have the Hawkeye system. All that stuff is instant. If you're the catcher, can you have something where, bang, you look at it, and you're looking over with your hand up? Can they have a green light from the dugout where it's telling you, where the system that you have in your dugout can tell you if it was a ball or strike? I'm thinking that's probably against the rules, but is that allowed? Or are they going to get in trouble for doing that?
Wait, say that again. I was fighting with people online.
If the pitch comes in and you're like, it's that 50-50 ball, it's close, the catcher basically like turns and he has his hand up. He's turning to his dugout to give the challenge. And if it's a green light in the dugout, yes, go for it. Because they have the pitch instantly. They have the pitch instantly on their own system in the dugout. I think that's
No, they don't.
the rules.
No, they don't.
No, how do they have the pitch right away?
That's why the Astros got in trouble. They banned it. You don't get it for a while. They don't have it.
I'm not talking about on the camera. I'm talking about in your own TrackMan system. It populates. If you're watching it on the iPad, I get it. The iPads now don't have that. Is that using too much technology?
No, you don't have that right now.
They don't have that.
They can't do that right now. They're not going to add that.
The teams have it, just not in the dugout. Could you have a system where would that break the rules?
Yes.
Yeah, they don't have that though.
Yeah. They're not doing that.
They're not going to be allowed to have that.
Also, if you even see a catcher go like that, this is where the umpire's job is going to expand. If you're an ump, AJ, and you see a catcher catch a ball and get a little pissed and go like this, you're going to be like, nope, can't challenge it. You looked over to your dugout, right? I think that's part of it. Yeah. You have to be the one to make the call. The coaches are not involved with this.
They don't have TrackMan in their dugout. They can't have they don't have instantaneous information. That was the whole Astros, Red Sox, iPhone, iWatch, bang the trash can, all that stuff. That was what they eliminated.
Good question by one of our director, Jeremy, behind the scenes said, can the dugout whistle or do something?
Yeah, but how do they know for sure?
They don't. You're right. I mean, what's the vantage point in the dugout?
But if they want to be wrong, then everyone blames that whoever whistled.
Don't you think the catcher has a better vantage point than anyone in the dugout anyway?
Always.
You would think.
Yeah. Okay. So I think this is going to be fascinating.
Catcher and the hitter have the best vantage points.
I think it's going to be fascinating. Sorry, I was just getting into it online with people that are now trying to take the game back and say they don't like the pitch clock. They probably don't like instant replay. I mean, let's just strip everything and have 8-hour games again, because I called games during that time period, and in a normal game would be 90 hours. Anyway, all right, let's swing back. We're going to look ahead to playoff-worthy matchups for tonight, and then we're going to get ready for Carlos Mendoza, Mets manager, joining us soon on FT. All right, BetMGM Locks. Let's load them up. Kratz, you're up first.
All right, I'm going to the Guardians and Tigers game. I'm going 2 overs, 2 guys that have to step up for their team. I hesitated a little because both bullpens are fresh, but I went back into it because both lineups are not hitting, and it's two of their better pitchers. Obviously, Tarek Skubal, Tigers' best pitcher. They need him to come out tonight, get 8 or more strikeouts. Gavin Williams, 6 or more strikeouts, and both guys have done that against these 2 teams 3 of the last 3 times.
All right. Sounds good to me. I'm going kind of a big one. I'm going Yankees and Mariners to win. Yankees play the White Sox at home. They should beat them, heel against Shane Smith, nothing against Shane Smith. And then the Rockies are playing at the Mariners. The Mariners have to win. They should beat the Rockies at home. And then I'm going over 5.5 punch-outs for Hurston Waldrop against the Nationals, the Braves. He's a strikeout. He's been a strikeout machine his last few starts, and that gets me to plus 336.
Nice. 336.
Mm-hmm.
Are you throwing down a hundo?
Yeah, just 100.
Okay, cool. I'll go minus 120 Yankees run line against the White Sox. Yankees have done one thing really well lately, beat competition that they're better than. White Sox have played much better in the second half, although I think they've lost 8 of 10, and they're not scoring as much lately. Yankees are scoring a ton, so I'm just going to play my run line game. That's where I'm feeling best right now. Did that last night with the Bravos, and all our picks are in already, nice and early here. So we can show the board. There it is. Do what you want with it tonight. Sorry, I'm distracted because I'm just finishing a little battle that I'm having. I'm being told I'm contradicting myself because I like the pitch clock, AJ, but I can't also like the challenge system because that will add a minute or 2 or 3 to the game. You can't have both. That's a real conversation right now. And I'm being told to block the person, but I won't, because unless personal shots are taken, we can have a friendly debate. It's okay if you don't understand how the new rule is going to work. Anyway, Parlay Boost Token, let's talk about it. If you're signed up in the BetMGM app, then you can add a little parlay wager made up of entirely MLB bets to your slip, activate the token, and get yourself extra winnings if your wager was made with that token and you win. Gambling problem or concern? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. let's look at the matchups tonight because it's playoff worthy for a few of them. Coming up. Looking ahead, I think we have to start with Detroit and Cleveland, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because the season series is on the line too. So Cleveland
has up 6-4.
So they need to win one more.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have the season series, which means
but if
both
they only
teams are
win
tied.
1 out of 3, then they're 2 down with 3 to play. So Cleveland has to win this series at the minimum.
But they don't have to sweep them.
No, but they have to win this. If they win 2 out of 3, then they control their own destiny.
Okay.
Win the division.
The big one here is, can Gavin Williams take down Tarek Skubal? If not,
Gavin Williams has been really good, man.
He has been. I agree. If not, game 2 features Bybee and Jack Flaherty, which I think is kind of a toss. Bybee's been much better again lately.
Parker Merrick or Messick has been really good.
Messick's been good for Cleveland.
Whoever for Detroit.
Might be Kiter Montero. I think they've got the edge on that third game, right?
Who?
With Messick for Cleveland?
Messick's been unbelievable.
Right.
If Gavin Williams can land his curveball, he's going to give the Tigers fits because they don't hit the curveball very well, and his curveball is one of the best in the game. And last time they faced Skubal, they held him. They only scored 1 run, but they won the game in the long game. So can they hold the Tigers down? Because the Tigers' offense has been struggling. So can they hold them down, get to a bullpen that can be got in the Tigers versus the Cleveland bullpen? The whole key is, can the Guardian starters keep it close until the Guardians bullpen gets into the game? That's kind of how they have to win. And if you look, was it 17 straight games where Cleveland starters have given up 2 earned runs or less? It's pretty good.
And they're home.
And they're giving away free tickets, and they
Are
want
they?
Or no fees or something. There was a whole
Okay.
big thing about how they're trying to get people there for their last 2 homestands. And good for you, Cleveland. But Cleveland, show up. Come on, Cleveland, show up for this team. Where they're at, where they've put you. I mean, come on, show up. I was there. I've been there when Jacobs Field, Progressive Field has been packed. Show up and make it fun again to go to Cleveland baseball, because they have them, and then they have Texas coming in, and Texas is already out of it. So, listen, you win this series, you got a great chance to go not only to the postseason but win the division.
How many people make the 2.5-hour drive from Detroit? Isn't it 2.5 hours ish?
About 2.5.
Yeah. So
Should be a few.
yeah, I think it's going to be very busy there, especially tonight, because if I'm in Detroit and I'm like, I'm going to try and catch one game, I want to see Skubal.
This is it. This is a must-win for the Tigers. You can't lose the Skubal game. You can't lose it. That's it. If it was the third game of the series, maybe it wouldn't be as much of a must-win, but they just sat through an entire off day thinking, we didn't play very well. Okay, we still have a 1-game lead. Skubal tonight, he might go all 9. Hinch might have to drag him off the mound. To me, he's that kind of guy, and that's how they win this game.
Cards fan Kane in the chat said, why not Detroit and Cleveland both make it, and Houston misses?
They can.
That's possible, but actually I was looking last night. I think the Astros schedule, so they're in Sacramento for 3. And A's are good. I mean, that's not a pushover series, but Houston's got their big boys pitching in that one, and then they finish with 3 against the Angels. I mean, if you can't win 4 or 5 out of 6 of those last 6, then you probably don't deserve to make it anyway.
But Cleveland has the tiebreaker.
Over Houston? Oof. Boston's still in play too, like we talked about.
But Boston has the tiebreaker over Houston, I know, and I think they have it over Cleveland too. I'm not 100% sure on that.
Okay.
Here's my thing. The other game.
No, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, we need a cheat sheet to figure out who has the tiebreaker on who. That's it. All I know
I
is
agree.
the Reds have it over the Mets.
Okay.
And the Diamondbacks.
And the Diamondbacks, right. All right, so what's the other one you're looking at?
Well, here's my thing. The Reds and the Pirates play, right?
Yep.
Brady Singer has been outstanding. But the Reds have one huge advantage in this because who are they chasing? The Mets, basically. They start over an hour and a half before them. If they can jump on the Pirates and score some runs and get a 4-5-0 lead early, and the Mets are sitting in Wrigley going, oh my gosh, they're winning. We have to win. Like, the pressure shifts significantly. This is where it's an advantage to be on the East Coast. because you can put up a number and a score, especially for like Houston. They're in Sacramento. They're already going to know how the Guardians and Tigers, before they even kick off, they're going to be looking, going, oh man, Cleveland won or Detroit won. All right, we can win and we're good, or we don't, or whatever. Oh man, but
That's bad, you're saying.
it can be bad.
Yeah.
Because you look up and you say, oh crap, they've already won. Especially if you're the Mets, you're like, oh man, the Reds already won. So basically, because they're tied, but the Mets are really one game behind because of the tiebreaker. They look up and say the Mets are up 4-0 in the third inning, 5-0 in the third inning. We got to win, or we're 2 games out with 5 to play. That's tough. That's tough, man. Knowing that you have not only they have the Cubs, and then the Mets finished with someone else pretty difficult. Oh, the Marlins. We're lining up their rotation for them. So
yeah, they play an hour later.
Thing.
It's an hour later. They'll be ahead. Pittsburgh and Cincinnati start at 6:40 Eastern time. Pittsburgh does have a Skeens game in this series for Cincinnati.
Yeah. They got to score runs too.
Oh, you know who's pitching tonight for Pittsburgh? Kratz's boy.
Oviedo.
He's got good numbers. He's pitched well.
He's pitched well. He's coming back from injury. Yeah. The Pirates, I'm surprised they're actually starting him. He's a starter. Thought the Pirates would ease him back into major league play. And oh wait, no, that's Bubba Chandler.
The Pirates are so random. They'll either sweep Cincinnati here or they're going to get swept. I don't know. That's just how I feel. Anyway, let's talk about the Mets side of the equation here tonight. Things are going to get very interesting, and Mets manager Carlos Mendoza is ready to join us next on FT. Hey, our weekly reminder that you can get tickets for the Playmakers Classic. It's February 18th, 2026. And you're like, what? That's so far away. But if you're trying to plan your spring training trip, then check out the Playmakers Classic. We highly recommend it in downtown Phoenix. It's the 4th annual Playmakers Classic. They've already done 4 of these now, run by the Players Trust. And it's the 30th anniversary this year of the Players Trust. So it is, I think, one of the premier ways to actually not just meet and greet players, but actually spend time with them throughout the evening. Many of them there really kind of just letting loose for a few hours, enjoying themselves and hanging out with the VIP, fans that are there. So if you want to check it out, playerstrust.org. Kratz. Music performances, food, drinks, games being played all night. And the players don't just show up for 5 minutes and leave. They're there for the entire night.
I said it last time we talked about this. They want to be there. They understand that the money that's raised, what it's going for, and what a great cause, and what all the stuff that Players Trust does. They want to be there. It's a unique environment. It's not a paid appearance type of environment, which can kind of be disingenuous. This is cool.
Yeah, there'll be prizes, auctions, all kinds of things going on there. So we're looking forward to it. We'll give you more details as the off-season eventually rolls on. We'll bring on some people that are going to be at the event itself. There's more details, and you can slap the QR code there to check it out to see if you want to go grab tickets. Again, that's playerstrust.org. Foul Territory is back. Mets manager Carlos Mendoza joining us right now. Mendy, we really appreciate the time. I know it's a busy week, so let's get right into biz. How are you feeling, first of all? Are you excited, nervous? This is like the playoffs happening over the final 6 games for your team.
Yeah, good to see you guys. Definitely, I'm excited. Even though it hasn't been pretty. I'm excited. We have a big week ahead of us starting tonight, and here we are in beautiful Chicago, getting ready for a super important game today. Like you said, every game feels like a playoff game, and it's been like that for the past I don't know how many days. But here we are, and concentrate on one day at a time.
Is the preparation any different for these games? Are you sitting there in your meetings and going, okay, this is who's available, just like every other day, but then you're like, you know what, I might go to this guy sooner because we are, like you said, in a playoff type of situation?
As far as the preparation goes, it's pretty consistent. I think it's just the way you manage games, and then in how much you use guys down the stretch, So I think that's the way we see it. That's the only difference. You're gonna be aggressive when you're taking out your starters or relievers or pinch hitting. It's like there's not tomorrow for us. It's do what we need to do today to win the baseball game, and then we worry about tomorrow. And the mentality has been like that for, I don't know, more than a month. When you're in the big leagues, you're trying to win every night. But right now, I think it's just how aggressive and the way you use all of you guys that are available.
Do those guys know that? Do the bullpen guys? Because I mean, you're talking about the bullpen. You're not making wholesale platoon changes in the lineup like some teams. You're talking about the bullpen. Do you have that conversation today when they get there? You walk around the outfield. What does that look like?
Yeah, of course. You got to let them know. You got to give them a heads up, and because they got different routines. And a guy that is probably used to pitching the 7th or 8th, hey man, it could be as early as the 4th inning. So their routines got to change a little bit. And I'll try and do it myself. Our pitching coaches, but we make sure we give those guys a heads up. What we're thinking going into a game, so that way they can prepare and be ready on time.
Mendy, you're playing the Cubs. This is a playoff team. And I know you're mostly thinking, hey, we just got to win the games we're supposed to win, not only this week, but, even last week. It's not an excuse. But just the natural human reaction over the weekend from you, I know you were checking out the score at least to see how Cubs-Reds was going. Were you surprised? Like, the Cubs got swept by the Reds, and now we're here?
No, I mean, anything can happen, man. Anybody can beat anybody at any particular day. I was just, concentrated on our games, and we didn't win a series. It was tough. It was frustrating for us, the fact that we couldn't win the series against the Nationals. We were, one swing away on Saturday, and then on Sunday, we didn't do much as a team. And then here we are sitting in this position. But, again, the past is in the past, and all we could control now is taking care of business today.
What is tougher? Playing a team that's already clinched in the playoffs but is a good team? Playing a team that has nothing to lose because they're packing up at the end of the series? Because you don't know what you're getting when you talk about preparation pregame for these teams.
Yeah, they're both tough, and especially not only when you're playing teams that are out of it, but you're playing a team like the Cubs that they might not push their starters, and they might go bullpen, and it's a completely different game. But at the end of the day, you have to be ready for everything that they can throw at you and control the things that you can control. But we didn't play well against the Nationals. We didn't play well against Miami, a couple of weeks ago, and we got them next after this series. So, for me and for all of us here is win today.
Mendy, with the state of the starting staff, are you surprised it got to this point based on what it looked like at the start of the season, really for the first month and a half or two, and where you are now? Obviously, the youngsters have been a great addition here late, but when you looked at what the starting staff was like in spring training and then how good it was early on in the season, if I told you what it was going to look like by the end of the year with Senga still trying to figure things out in the minors, some guys going down, some guys not looking like themselves from last year, would you be shocked?
Yes, I'm not gonna lie. People ask me that. If we would have asked you that 3 of these kids that are going to start in the minor leagues are going to be part of your rotation in September, I was like, no chance. Maybe one of them, especially with how well we were throwing the ball for the first couple of months, and the depth, because I kept talking about our depth. We lost Manaya and Montas the first week of spring training, and we felt comfortable with what we had. But then injuries happen, and here we are, throwing three kids that, like I said, you would have asked me in spring training what were the chances, and I would say maybe one, and maybe out of the bullpen. But you got to give those guys credit. You got to give people in player development a lot of credit, because they put themselves in this kid in a position where whatever there was a need here at the big league club, there were options, and here they are, and we're counting on them.
Mendy, you guys, I've been saying this for months, so I'm sticking with it. You guys are getting in, okay? I've been saying it for months. You guys are, yeah. Plus, you're playing the Cubs, and I root against anybody playing the Cubs, so you have to win. You have to win these games. But if and when you guys get in, will you start the three? Manaya, Peterson obviously has been really good for y'all, but I know you're going to say, one game at a time, but you've had to have taken a small look at trying to set some sort of a rotation up. Would it be a Sproat, McLean, Peterson kind of deal, or would you fall back into the veterans in that first round series?
Well, I mean, we got to get in, right?
I trust that you're going to get in. Okay, I've already said that. I've been banging the drum for a month now, Mendy, so you got to listen to me.
I will continue to listen to you. No, I don't think we have the luxury right now to start thinking, okay, how are we going to line these guys up? I think, hey, we got Peterson tonight, we got Jonathan tomorrow, and then we'll take it one day at a time, and maybe this goes all the way down to the last day. Who knows? I mean, and then we're not probably going to be in a position where we start lining up people. Right now, everything's on the table, all hands on deck, and we'll make those decisions when we have to.
All right, we've been talking about pitching the whole time. I want to go to the lineup. Can you believe that you're getting what you're getting out of the lineup? I'm not talking about Juan Soto having career home runs and doing exactly what he was brought in to do. Lindor is right about where you thought he would be. Pete's up and down, but banging a bunch of homers. All the way down through Beatty and Francisco Alvarez in the bottom of the order. Do you need to expect more from your lineup because of what the struggles of the pitching staff has been?
That's it's hard to describe too, Kratz, because like you said, I was talking to some of our guys here on Sunday. I was like, man, you look at the year that Francisco's having, Lindor, what you expect out of him. The year that Soto's having, Pete, and then some of our guys like Nim's having a really good year, Jeff McNeil, Albi, and then sometimes you look up and it's only a couple of runs. It's like, man, what's going on? It's weird. It's strange that the fact that we're so streaky, and then you look up in some of the numbers and some of the seasons that these guys are having individually, they're right there. Along with the expectations that we had going into this year. I feel like, everybody talks about our pitching and all that. We've just been an inconsistent team for months, whenever we hit, we don't pitch. Whenever we pitch, we don't hit. And we haven't been playing, there's been stretches where we haven't been playing good defense. And, here we are in this position, but hey, man, there's not looking back now. Today's a pretty important game, and we got to get ready for that one.
Mendy, will the lineup essentially stay the same, or have you had any thoughts of doing anything different? And also just playing off what you're saying, when you look at so many of the individual stats and how they look good for the stars and even some of the supporting staff, do you think, hey, maybe I should try and, I don't know, shuffle things up? I know it's easier said than done. It's always the question we get from fans. Like right now, chat's loaded up. Hey, ask if you should move up Beatty, or there's a lot of questions like that arise. How much does that factor in for you and the staff to think about?
I mean, we think about it, we talk about it, and you continue to find for ways to put these guys in position where, hey, man, let's see if this can click here. Today, we haven't announced the lineup, but I got Nemo playing center and I got Marte playing in left. Physically, he's to a point where, hey, man, we need to push you, and he's good to go. So we haven't done that pretty much a whole year, trying to take care of him. But here we are, and We're doing that today, like I said. And then, I think that's one of the small adjustments. But the whole year, I've been thinking whether it's Pete third, Nemo fourth on Sunday. I flipped those two. You're always looking for ways to help these guys. And, that's what we'll continue to do here.
Is Senga done for the year? Can you comment on that? Is that something that has been discussed with the team that maybe he's done and it's a reset?
No, I wouldn't say he's done. He threw a live EP today. I just got that report before I got on. He's down in Florida. He threw a live EP, 45 pitches. So now obviously he's going to get his next 3 or 4 days, and then we'll see where we at. But I wouldn't say he's done.
I mean, it was about this time last year, you gave this one to AJ, and he didn't quite know at the time, but it set you guys on a run, so maybe he's there for you. Yesterday, off day. We had somebody with the Tigers on, and I said they had an off day too. Is that a great off day based on the struggles that you've had, a time to reset? Or was it a terrible off day for you because you're like, I just want to see another game. I need to see us back in playoff, controlling our own destiny. How was your off day, and what'd you do?
Yeah, no, it was a nice off day here in Chicago. I had the family with me, so it's always good to kind of take that day and reset and get your mind off of a little bit as much as you can. But yeah, I think the way we see it here, just kind of get your mind out of it, disconnect for a little bit, and then back at it today. Especially after that tough weekend, that series against the Nationals, the past 2 games, Saturday and Sunday, where we didn't get the job done. Having an off day here, just kind of like I said, get your mind out of it, and then just get ready for a pretty important week.
Mendy, when we were playing the Nationals, you just brought it up. When Jacob Young, yeah, that's his name. Yeah. Made those 2 catches. Were you like, especially the first one, the second one you see a little bit more often, but the first one, do you just look up at the heavens and say, why? Like, what the heck is going on? Because that's one of the best catches I've ever seen, and it happened against you in a playoff race. Like, can't he just kick it a little to the left or a little to the right, or the ball hit the ground and we get some runs and we're feeling good about ourselves?
Elite center fielder that looked like Lionel Messi doing that. Like, oh my, like I turned to my right and I was like, Gibby, I never seen anything like that. Like, what are the chances that the ball comes out and he kicks it and he's able to control the baseball? Like you mentioned, the one in the 9th inning, that happens a lot, right? But that first one on Beatty leading off an inning, he was like, man, like, this is hard to believe, but hey, man, like, nobody's going to feel sorry for us. We got to keep going.
All right, we see your 3 rookie pitchers that have stepped up in a big way, each in different times, McLean, Tong, and Sproat. What is the characteristic that you want to see most from those guys? We see the balls moving every which way. Tong's got the, late life from a small person, delivery, long extension. What's the one characteristic that you want to see that you'll be like, I know I can go to that guy, even though he's a rookie, when we make the playoffs?
Yeah, look, I mean, they all got elite stuff. I think it's just their ability to make adjustments. Like having an understanding what a lineup, what hitters are trying to do to you. For me, that's the number one characteristic. Especially for guys that are just getting to the league here, and they've shown that. We've seen how lineups are trying to make adjustments to Nolan, to Jonathan, and even to Sprody, and, after that first time through the lineup, watching them go out there and make some adjustments, or even in between at bats, the way some of the hitters are taking pitches or how aggressive they are against certain pitches in certain situations. And, how, you watch them and just their ability to make adjustments and recognize that, hey, all right, they're doing this, like, but I can also make this adjustment and go with this. So for me, it's just their ability to make some adjustments in game is what's been pretty impressive from my end.
Hey, Mendy, last one at the finish line here. We've seen some of the numbers come out from the Mets org about the attendance, and the numbers were fantastic as expected. Much higher than last year, obviously coming off a nice playoff performance last year. You usually get that bump, and it looked like it lasted for a while. The vibes have been great. So what was that like to experience for most of the year? With like, did you feel like there were more fans and more energy throughout this season compared to last year? And what would your message be to fans here in the final week?
Yeah, I mean, unreal, incredible. I mean, we definitely felt it. You know, the appreciation from myself, from our team. You know, it's just off the charts because they packed City Field. They were right there. Even there was like weekdays in playing some series. The school started and it's almost 40,000 people. Like amazing, just appreciation. Thank you. And our message is to just continue to believe, man. Like, I know it's been hard. I know they are frustrated. I mean, we get frustrated too, but hey, we got an opportunity to do something special, and that's our goal.
Mendy, thanks for the time. You know, we appreciate it. I know it's a busy week. Go do your thing. We'll be watching. Good luck.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. That's Carlos Mendoza, Mets manager on FT.
Todd Father, you and me grew up in Jersey. We liked to collect cards, but the way the process got was ridiculous. You open up a pack, there's a bunch of cards you don't care about. Then you want to get certain ones graded. Takes forever, right? Then you want to maybe sell one. It's such a to-do. Arena Club has been the solution for us.
Arena Club has been a solution for everybody. You go online, go to Arena Club, and you check out what they have. Put a little cash down, and you might get one of the best cards that you've ever seen in your life, an autographed card. And guess what? If you don't like the card, easily you could sell it back and make a little cash. You never know what to expect. It's a cool way of doing it. You're going to get a surprise every time. And if you're into cards, this is something you really need to get into.
Right now, you can get 20% off your first slab pack or card purchase by going to arenaclub.com/foul and use code FOUL like Todd Father's talking about with those slab packs. Every pack has a grail that's at least 20x the price of the pack. Check it out.
What did it mean for you to catch 22 in that final outing?
Yeah, it was pretty special. Doc gave me the heads up night before, hey, you have Kirsch for his final home start of the regular season tomorrow, so like prepare. And yeah, I was excited. As soon as I heard that, it's like you get to be a piece of history, arguably the best left-handed pitcher to play this game. And just to be able to be a servant of him out there that day and just kind of see his process one more time. It's special. Everyone's heard about his routine, the way he is as a guy, the way he is as a teammate, just how to a T he is. And yeah, I got to see it one last time at Dodger Stadium, and it meant the world to me in my baseball career up to this point.
Dalton, what do you think is the biggest takeaway from catching Kershaw or just watching him go about his business on a daily basis? Because it's not just like eyes are on Kersh every fifth day. Eyes are on Kersh all the time.
Every day. Yeah, it's like I said, I think it comes with being who he is and doing the things that he's done over the last 18 seasons. Being able just to create a name for himself the way that he did over so long. And I mean, yeah, like you said, you see the respect every single day. We had a rival the whole dugout standing up clapping for this guy and making sure that their love is felt on the other side of the field. And I think that spoke for itself. Both teams are in playoff situations. Giants are pushing, and you see them take the time out of their middle of the game and just show respect. And that's exactly what he deserves.
Damn, that show went fast. Let's slap, and I want to shout out our friends, part of the FT Network, Baseball America. They threw out their big awards over the last 24 hours. So yesterday, they announced Player of the Year, Konnor Griffin. This is for the minor leagues in the Pirates organization. Brilliant year, super young, bright future. And then today they announced Jonathan is the pitcher of the year. Life comes at you fast, Jonathan. You're the minor league pitcher of the year, and now the Mets need you.
Yeah, this is how it happens. And Konnor Griffin has got a chance to make an impact with the Pirates at some point, and Jonathan is already making an impact with the Mets. We just had Mendoza say how important he's been to them, so we'll see if he gets into the postseason, if he gets a chance to pitch, but it's pretty cool for both those young men, and congratulations.
And we interviewed Konnor Griffin right after the announcement was made on Hot Sheet yesterday. So let's give some love to Hot Sheet and give you a little clip from it.
Outfield definitely comes more natural to me, but being a short, I just want to make plays, and so when those kind of in between balls are right behind me, I feel like I'm a center fielder again. I go back and try to track them down, but I think it's cool. It's really cool how outfield and infield kind of work together. I feel like they stuck me at short most of the year just because it kept my footwork sharp, and if I needed to go out to the outfield, I could. But I think in spring training they really didn't know whether I was going to play center field or shortstop. They were just giving me reps at both spots, and then when the season started, they said, "Hey, let's stick it short, and we'll let you play some center field if you want." But I spent most of the year short, and I loved it.
You like the graphics, Kratz?
I did. I like that background. That was sick.
Mm-hmm.
Big shout out to Jerry Bear.
Yep. Producer, director, behind the scenes, putting Hot Sheet together. But it was cool to get Konnor Griffin on the show. And Kratz, don't worry. I stepped in to ask the classic, hey, I did it in a unique way, but are you going to rescue Pittsburgh and make the Pirates a playoff team again? And are you talking to Skeens? He said Skeens is keeping in touch with him. So I like that part of it, right? Paul Skeens is just putting his head down and mowing down hitters for the first couple seasons of his career to an historic pace. But if we sat down with him on an off-the-record conversation or had dinner with him, whatever, he would probably say what about his first couple years, knowing how much of a gamer he is? What do you think he would say if you were sitting down with him at dinner and like, hey, dude, tell me how you're really feeling about being there right now?
He's frustrated. He would explain why he does the Skeens stare. He punches a dude out, and it's maybe his fifth or sixth strikeout, and he'll be like, kind of looks up. He's not looking at the radar gun, which is clearly over there. He just kind of looks up like, dang it. I am good. Why can't I get players around me? So when he has a guy like Konnor Griffin, who AJ probably remembers seeing him when he was a junior playing with a bunch of seniors when we coached the All-American game, like you knew he had something special, but you also knew like this dude puts a lot of work in. He talked about it in the interview. He put on 15 pounds and he had the season that he had. Paul Skeens wants to bring that guy onto his boat as soon as possible. Pirates, they'll try to manipulate it however they want to say it, but this dude torched the minor leagues, and if Paul Skeens is texting him and keeping in touch, that means he knows that this dude's going to be a guy that can play behind him and maybe help him get a few more W's.
So, AJ, I'm looking at the lineup right now for Pittsburgh this year. They have one player in the Fangraphs top 100. Three-hitter Brian Reynolds, who's still below 199 OPS plus. I mean, for him, it's more of a down year. Nobody else is in the top 100. You can't have that.
You can't. Their pitching, we all went into the year saying their pitching was going to be really good. Jared Jones went down. Skeens has had a great year, probably the NL Cy Young Award winner pretty easily. Bubba Chandler hasn't done anything at the big league level other than come out of the bullpen. I think he started one game, and Oviedo's back, but the rest of it has been kind of sad. And I fired a manager, trying to make different moves, but this ain't it, guys. This ain't it, Pirates fans. I'm sorry. It's got to get better than this.
Do you think Ben Cherington is back? Nobody knows because
I don't know what his contract status is.
I want to say he's got a year or two left on there.
I don't see him getting rid of him.
Because he doesn't want to pay for him to not be there.
They don't want to pay two guys.
Yeah. I mean, most teams do that. It's rare that a GM is a lame duck, but you're saying he's not going to do that. I know Ken was asked about this yesterday, and from what I recall, I watched the show. I was a little punch drunk from a long flight, but I think he said something along the lines of, Bob Nutting being too unpredictable that it's hard for him to pinpoint what he's going to do. But if you do, what?
Unpredictable? You know exactly what Bob Nutting is going to do. Whatever the cheapest route is. He has not ever made a decision since I've watched the Pirates when he has been the owner that has been anything less than about the money. From cutting guys before they get their bonuses to making sure that when a historic player in the organization's contract is going to be $10 million, he's traded before that, to not signing any free agents. He's very dependable. He's exactly who he always is. The money. So if Ben Cherington has an extra year, exactly like AJ said, they're not paying two guys to do one spot.
Conflicting reports on here, but at least some of the articles I'm looking at, including one here on ESPN, CBS, saying it's believed he signed through 26 or 27.
They're not going to get rid of him.
So he's still going to run point there. Okay. But good job on Konnor Griffin. Back to the top of the conversation. Also, happy birthday to our FT teammate Trevor May. Ken Rosenthal is joining us on tomorrow's show. So we'll check in with Ken on the races and enjoy the game tonight because there's playoff vibes with quite a few of them, even if it's only one team fighting for their playoff lives. The Cubs are in, but the Mets are fighting. The Reds are fighting to keep that top spot against the Pirates team that can play spoiler. Who else besides? Oh, we've got, by the way, Thursday, Mike Schilt is joining us, right? We're going to talk to Schilt.
He said he would. We'll see.
Okay. Ryan Goins is on the schedule for Friday. And Kratz at the buzzer, 25 seconds.
Still not eliminated. Craig Mish, put it down. Marlins still in it. They're still in it. Oh, 6 games to go. Just have to have a meteor hit the earth and destroy all the other teams. And then the Marlins are in.
That's dark.